Good morning. Happy Saturday. Thanks for checking in with your morning weather update. Sure hope you have a great day today. It's going to be a beautiful day, minimal chances for rain, maybe a few more showers and thunderstorms throughout the day tomorrow. It is definitely going to be a hot weekend. And of course, we're talking about Hurricane Erin. We've also got a check of your 7-day forecast. That's all coming up here in just a few minutes. Right now, let's get a check of your morning sponsor.
I'm looking to the sky for clues, for a small sign to shed some light.
All right, let's dive into the details on the big picture weather pattern. High pressure in the mid-levels is hanging out across the Mississippi River Valley. That's putting a northerly flow to the atmosphere. Now, not much of a disturbance throughout the day today, but a little bit of an elevated disturbance tomorrow that may bring us some elevated rain chances, I think, for the second part of our Sunday. Had a batch of clouds hanging out with us across the mountain counties, and you can see that from Klingman's Dome earlier this morning. Temperatures in the mountains are starting off in the 60s, so a nice mild start to the day. And you can see that on the satellite and radar. Nothing showing up on the radar picture, but again, some lingering clouds across the mountain counties that are moving their way on out. And that's going to leave us with abundant sunshine throughout the morning hours once these clouds move on out. But most of us have a ton of sunshine. If you're not stuck in the fog, I know we do have some patchy, dense fog to start the day in parts of Anderson County and also the downtown Clinton area experiencing that. But through the day today, not much in the way of some showers and thunderstorms. Minimal chances for showers and storms today. Best locations are going to be across the higher elevations, but we have slightly drier air that's settling on in. We have slightly drier moisture content throughout the column of the atmosphere. And again, we don't really have a big disturbance to produce any much in the way of rainfall anyways. A little bit more comfortable across upper East Tennessee. We're starting off with dew points in the 60s. Everyone else is basically in the 60s and 70s, and so it feels a little bit more comfortable, Tri-Cities area, while everyone else is mild and muggy to get the day started with morning low temperatures in the 70s. We're on our way back into the 90s here today, but elevated dew points once again, and that's going to put our heat index values back into the upper 90s to even some low 100s. So it is definitely going to be a hot day today. Overnight tonight, we're going to see those temperatures drop down into the 70s. We're going to continue our forecast on into our Sunday to give you an idea of how the weather is going to play out. Sunday morning in the 70s, we warm back into the upper 80s for the lunch hour. Forecast high temperatures on Sunday are going to be back into the low 90s, a little bit warmer, I think, throughout the day on Sunday. And that's going to lead to a little bit of a hotter heat index value in some locations, especially across the Southern Valley. Other locations, not so much, due to the fact that our dew point, slightly drier air, is going to settle its way on in. And I think that's the story for our Sunday. A, we have less moisture to work with. A, we have slightly drier air. But we do have a disturbance, so how does that interact with the atmosphere? And do we see a few more showers and storms? Heat index values, either way you look at it, will likely be back in the mid to upper 90s. Here's your futurecast for your Sunday. Again, we'll start off with mostly clear skies, maybe a little bit of patchy, dense fog along the rivers and lakes. Here comes that northerly flow and that disturbance in the atmosphere. That's 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. And there's 4, 5, and 6. And you can see how this little wave might bring us a little bit elevated rain chances. And that's evident anyways when we're looking at our rainfall forecast for the day as well. All right, your 7-day forecast. We're going to see those temperatures in the low to mid 90s for today, tomorrow, and Monday, Tuesday as well. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to track a trough that's going to be swinging its way into the area that's likely to bring us elevated rain chances. And that trough is going to be responsible for scooping up Erin and pushing it away from the U.S. mainland, which, of course, we'll show you the latest track from the National Hurricane Center in just a second. Dew points will stay in the low 70s. That means with temperatures in the 90s, that's going to put our heat index values in the upper 90s to low 100s. So it is definitely going to be toasty. As I mentioned, slightly better coverage of a few more showers and thunderstorms on Sunday than what we'll experience throughout the day today, likely to be later in the afternoon. Just afternoon thunderstorms expected Monday and Tuesday. Elevated rain chances possibly, I think, Wednesday may bring us the best coverage of rainfall. All right, let's talk tropics for a second. Hurricane Erin right now, winds at 130 miles per hour, moving its way towards just north of the Lesser Antilles and towards the Greater Antilles. Expected to become a Category 4 hurricane here over the next couple of days, and so we'll highlight that a little bit more. Sorry, I got a little trigger happy with the forecast there, but again, could become a Category 4 hurricane throughout the day today. Continuing to track its way northward through the Atlantic as a Category 3, and then eventually dying down to a Category 2 possibly by next Thursday. So definitely something to keep an eye on here over the next couple of days, but again, it's going to stay far away from the U.S. mainland. Thanks for checking in with your morning weather update. Sure hope you got the information that you needed. Remember, you can always check in on the interactive radar and, of course, your daily forecast weather updates with the East Tennessee Weather app. Scan that QR code right there in the bottom right-hand side of the screen, or just go to your app store and search East Tennessee Weather. Have a great day.